Hey guys, welcome back to another Friday feature. So yeah, finally we're back. Obviously last week I posted the sort of like the American food tasting video. There's kind of problems with that. That was the second time I've uploaded the video and it had that like the second part was just blacked out for some reason, so unfortunately I couldn't get that back. I'm not sure what happened to the video because I've posted another one after that and it seemed to be fine, so unfortunately that didn't really work, but apologies for that. But I mean, we're back now for our Friday episodes. So as you may have seen on my channel, I've been posting the vlogs still. So hopefully you've enjoyed them if you've watched them. If not, check them out if you're into football. Sort of give you like a behind the looks. Or basically going to like the non-league games at Biggleswade United, basically. It's really interesting. I've enjoyed doing that a lot. As you can see, I'm in my new room. So I've got a little stand behind me that you might be able to see in the video just slightly. Move over slightly. Here you go. And basically I'm going to have like a shelving up here as well, so I might display some of my statues. Either that or I'll put some pictures up, I'm not too sure yet. I also have a wall over here that I'm going to put things. But I think I'm just going to do like a setup video at some point. So yeah, I'm going to do a setup for basically of where I play my games, where I do these videos, where I sleep. So I've got like 2 TVs on the wall I both use every day. So I thought it'd be cool just do like a video just showing you my room basically. For I myself, I find them videos quite interesting. So you got that to look forward to. So it's a few more things I've got to do really, just to tidy the room up. But apart from that, it shouldn't be too long of a wait. So getting into the news, it was quite a big week for gaming this week. So I've got 2 pieces of very big news. So I'm going to start off with more of the latest sort of news. And that was from yesterday at the Amazon sort of press conference. And they announced a new video game streaming service called Luna. So Luna is literally very similar to Google Stadia. It's that cloud streaming, gaming sort of thing that Google's using, Microsoft's using. So you'll be able to play games at 4K 60 FPS. You'll be able to play many titles from Control, from Resident Evil 7, new Ubisoft titles they're bringing out. It's like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and stuff like that. And they're bringing that out for $5.99 in dollars per month. So the pound version of it's not out yet because it's currently in early access for US only. As they always get everything. But I do get Amazon is an American business, so maybe they did it like that. But I mean, it seems promising. So the most interesting part of it so far is, which I'm going to go straight into now, you'll be able to use it on your computers, your phone, your tablets and TVs. And then at launch, it will be available for PC, Mac, Fire TV, iPhone and iPad. So Apple are actually investing into this streaming from Amazon and having it on their own platform, which is crazy since Google Stadia and Microsoft couldn't get any deal complete to be able to get these on iOS and Apple devices, which is, I don't know how Amazon have done it, you see. Yeah, so it's really strange. I don't know if they've some sort of deal they've done, like a paid deal or something. Apple probably get some sort of revenue from it, maybe. Because obviously they've got to have some sort of benefit of having it on there. But I mean, it's one of the best markets to go into for this streaming, having Apple devices, because how many people have got Apple devices? Most people have like an iPhone. If most people have, well, not everyone, but I think iPads are sort of more generally the tablet you go for if you've got that extra money. And yeah, and it's coming to Android later at later dates. Android actually is sort of like not favoured over Apple, that like Google Stadia and that is. So that's really cool, especially for me because I have Apple devices. So I'm like quite excited to try this streaming platform out. I couldn't try the other ones because I didn't have Android. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how this one works. Obviously, Google Stadia's not really done that well. I'm not sure if that's because it doesn't work how they sort of sold it before launch of how it's going to work really smooth. I don't know if it's because there's just no real games to go on there to play. Like, what would you go on there to play like Destiny 2 when you can just go on your console and play it for free, if you know what I mean, without having to buy it? Or like Ubisoft games are going on like your PlayStation or Xbox or even PC, but they say, why would you stream it, if you know what I mean? Because if you have like a high-end PC, you're probably going to get the same graphical input that you would streaming it on your PC without having to actually stream it. And obviously, especially in UK, a lot of people don't have the the quality, upload, download speed that will require for 4K 60 FPS gameplay. So I mean, it's still one of those things where it's not. I don't think the world's Wi-Fi is quite ready for the streaming, even though it's good. It's going to be eventually, because obviously you got Elon Musk's doing this, like bringing Wi-Fi around every part of the world, basically, with like the SpaceX sort of combination of all them things put together. Let's put all these satellites to get basically Wi-Fi every inch of the world, which that'd be really cool. I think it's gonna be like proper fast Wi-Fi as well, and I believe it's meant to launch late this year in certain countries. I don't know if that's been postponed or not, but I mean next year we should look towards that, and it should be coming out in different places. I'm presuming it'll probably start in America first and whatnot. And then basically just moving on to the controller as well. So Amazon will be releasing their own version of like the controller that we obviously use for PlayStation, Xbox, Google. They all have their own controller. So Amazon's got their own controller. This one is actually really cool because it has Alexa built in. So Alexa is like that smart sort of AI companion. Like Apple have Siri. Obviously you have your Amazon Fire Stick, your Amazon tablets, Fire tablets, and they all have Alexa built in. So it's really cool to have a controller actually built in with Alexa. So you should be talking to your actual controller, so this would be really cool. So you can just ask like your controller most of the time. So I think that's a really little unique feature. The controller is going to cost $49.99 as well. And I believe you have to have the Amazon controller at the moment to be able to play the game. So, I mean, you're paying like an upfront cost of £50 basically, and then you're paying $5.99 a month on top of that. So, I mean, that's pretty reasonable. In theory, you sort of are buying just a normal controller and then $5.99 a month for like Game Pass basically. So I think it is quite a good deal if the service works basically. So yeah, that's pretty much all it for Amazon Luna for now. I'm sure once it's gone into early access, there will be reviews online, people talking about it. Maybe we'll cover that in the video because it'll be quite big news that week. So whenever that comes out, I'm sure we'll cover it here. I'd also like to test it. I think he's coming to the UK next year, so we'll have to wait a little while. But once it's here, I'll try and give it a go. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going to be strong enough, but I'm up for giving it a go and giving it a little review as well. So moving on to our second piece of news today, and that is Bethesda bought Microsoft. So this was a massive one that launched on Monday. Big shock to pretty much everyone in the video game world. And that is obviously now Xbox pretty much owns Bethesda. So that's all the studios. So games like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Dishonored, Doom, Wolfenstein, Prey, all these massive AAA titles will now be owned by Xbox. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. And a $7.5 billion deal. That's more than Disney bought Star Wars. I think that's about $4.5 billion. So I mean, is Bethesda really worth $7.5 billion? They have some pretty big games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but I don't think it's big on Star Wars. Especially in today's climate as well, with COVID-19, you'd have thought that might have reduced the price, so maybe they were actually asking for more pre-COVID. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's a really good one on Microsoft's part, but I don't think it's very good for the rest of the gaming community, even though, especially for PlayStation, pulling out Nintendo Switch, because they've got a few games on Nintendo now. But I'm going to get into a quote, actually, that was basically posted on Bethesda's Twitter page, and that is, like our original partnership, this one is about more than one system or one screen. We share a deep belief in the fundamental power of games in their ability to connect, empower and bring joy, and the belief we should bring that to everyone, regardless of who you are, where you live, or what you play on, regardless of the screen size, the controller, or your ability to even use one. So that sort of, to me, hints that it's going to be on multiple platforms still, especially the currently announced games. Because obviously you can pre-order multiple ones at the moment, Bethesda games. I'm pretty sure you can get like a pre-order on the next Elder Scrolls game, Starfield and that. So even though it's not properly confirmed, I feel like it's hinted at these games will be across the platform. I don't know if it's going to be like a timed exclusive for Xbox and then it'll come to console. Maybe all future unannounced games will be Xbox exclusive. Maybe this deal is obviously all these games will be coming to Game Pass day one as they launch, which is obviously huge for Game Pass users. So I don't know, maybe say if I purchase a £50 copy on PlayStation, most of that money goes to Xbox. I don't understand how it's going to work yet. But yeah, that's pretty huge because obviously Xbox Game Studios have got so many, I think it's 23 different studios now working on games. And obviously Bethesda's just got all these different studios like Arcane, producing these great AAA games that a lot of people go out and buy because they are big fans of these unique experiences. So yeah, it's definitely a big win for Microsoft. So Doom Eternal, so the latest Doom game will be launching on Game Pass soon. So they posted that as well. So obviously that's another big win for all Game Pass users. Be able to play Doom for a very cheap price monthly, about $5.99 a month, or maybe you'll get it free, like your 1 month free trial. So again, for Xbox players, that's definitely something to look forward to post sort of like Series X launch and that. Because I don't think Bethesda actually got any games launching this year. So obviously we had Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, I believe it's called, that launched on PlayStation, and then they still have that. So that Xbox are actually honouring PlayStation's 1-year exclusive deal to Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. So you'll still actually have to wait on Xbox to get these games. But obviously they'll postpone, won't they, to a later date due to COVID-19. So they'll be out next year, and then Xbox players will have to wait an extra year to be able to play them, which is really bizarre. So obviously that deal was in place before Xbox purchased Bethesda. So I mean, I think they probably sort of had to go along them guidelines. Okay, we'll agree to have that, and then it'll be on all platforms. Maybe when you launch the game, very similar to Minecraft Dungeons, it'll come up with the Xbox Studios logo. So yeah, it was something along them lines, but we'll have to wait for further information. But I mean, Xbox's press conference at E3, that's going to be pretty big now, since Bethesda had a massive conference of their own to be pulled into Xbox's one. It's going to be really mad. So I look forward to those. Anyway, moving on to our deals of the week this week. We have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle on Switch, and that's for £11.09. That's reduced from $29.99, which I thought was a pretty good deal. I think that's the cheapest I've seen. And yeah, that's basically a XCOM style tactical shooter, should we say. It was quite fun. Sort of got that Mario comedy feel to it. So definitely worth checking that out, especially if you're sort of into those genre of games. And then we also have Rocket League is now free to play on all platforms. So that was this week. So Rocket League is finally going free to play on PlayStation, Xbox, PC and Switch. So if you've not played that, Rocket League is basically car football. It has a battle pass system now. I think it has an in-game store which you can purchase items from. They have like ranked play. They have casual play and loads of different game modes, loads of additional seasonal events to gain loot. It's definitely worth checking it out, even if you're not into like football or anything like that. It's a very fun game to play with your friends. And I mean, it's free, so you're not really losing any money of that. But that's it for this week. Obviously, we have no more events with Summer Game Fest. That's pretty much over with now. Yes, that's obviously we're pretty much done with that now. We've had the PlayStation conference to announce the price for the consoles. We obviously had the Xbox One to announce console price. Obviously, if you got a pre-order on that, that's obviously great. If you're still struggling, places like Amazon and Game in the UK are occasionally adding more to their website to go pre-order. If not, maybe try it in store. Like Argos might be a good option to go purchase one. Definitely give Game another try in store because they sort of have a few remaining. The physical console where you can put like disc drive version of it is actually more common than the digital only one, because apparently they didn't make as many digital ones, perhaps because they want to get that extra £100. I think the Xbox has been sort of similar as well. I think the digital one actually didn't actually sell out. So the digital one was actually quite easy to get, but the actual disc drive one was actually sold out pretty quick as well. So it would be quite hard to get that. But again, try your local game store, Argos, place like that, to see if you can get a copy. But that's it this week, and I'll see everyone very soon.